Very good evening to all of y'all. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. So here we are gathered for one of the important topics during a pandemic situation like we are facing right now, self-confidence and self-motivation. So today I would like to welcome all of y'all, and here we have connected with the Mrs. Zamrooth Sherifdeen, our beloved speaker, prominent female psychologist. We have assistant psychologist, mental health life mentor at University of Suffolk. Zamrooth sister, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. And good evening to everybody. It's nice to meet you. It's the first session of my English session. I haven't done English sessions with you guys. Some of you all requested from me to make an run an English session. So we decided to have an English session, and it was it's a surprising thing, for me. What is that? People in Sri Lanka really wanted in English sessions. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's I never
and
thought.
Of course, Zamrooth sister, your sessions in Tamils were really interesting, and people who did not understand Tamil would also wanted to learn something from you, because I have heard your Tamil sessions, and frankly speaking, I don't feel the time passing really, because it's very interesting to hear, and I hope today's participants will also feel the same thing, will gain so much of benefit learning from you, inshallah.
Inshallah, yeah, it's very interesting, and thank you very much for your kind words anyway. and and yeah, we'll look into things like how we could develop our confidence, and then self-motivation and self-esteem, all kind of things in today's session. And yeah, I would like to hear some words from you guys. So maybe some of you all started to chat actually, and thank you very much for the person who have wished me. And yeah, can you raise your hand, just to hear from you, what do you expect from me today before I start my session. It's just 2 people or 2 or 3 people, just a short words from you guys, please.
Yes, inshallah. So, dear all, y'all can raise your hands, and y'all can let us know that what you are expecting from today's session. Yes, we have a raised hand. Let me unmute them. That is Rinoshan. Okay. Yes, you may unmute yourself. Okay.
Assalamu alaikum, Rinoshan. Is that an accident, or just wanted to speak to me?
We are not quite sure about it. Why? Because the raised hand is not there anymore. Okay. Anybody else would like to give a try? Zamrooth sister, seems like they are waiting for you to start the topic for the day.
Okay. So anyhow, that's fine. If you all are not very confident to speak to me, I will build your confidence. Okay, fine. So we go we'll go to our slides. So is somebody speaking on the middle? Right. Okay. So I just wanted to know what you guys know about, like, self-confidence, self-esteem, and kind of like self-motivation. Do you guys know anything about it? Can, like, somebody type if you don't have confidence to speak out, you can, like, type on the chat box so I can read it. How to improve poor self-esteem. Yeah, I'll be talking about all those information. But would you mind to type, like, what you guys know about, like, self-confidence, self-motivation, and then self-esteem? Is that connected to each other, or like, does it work like, separately each other? How does it work? If somebody would like to talk, I think. I don't know how to pronounce that. Your name, by the way, I'm really sorry. What is
That's
that?
actually the phone model, I think. Yes. Yes, you may speak.
Yeah, Hawaii. Okay. Okay. So yeah, the meantime, when you I'll read the things as well. Like, if you can speak, it's good. Faster. Hello?
Okay, seems like they are not
No,
speaking.
that's two people.
Yes. Yes, we have another participant, Fatima Nazmila. You may speak.
Hello, Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I guess I'm speaking to Nazmila, right?
Yes.
Right.
I
How are
feel
you?
confidence. I'm Alhamdulillah fine.
Okay.
Yes.
So,
Self-confidence means as I feel, it is like what you are sure of what you are doing. You have the confidence. You are having the courage to do what you are.
okay.
I mean, you have the courage to do, and you are sure of what you are doing.
Right.
No fear, and you have there's no fear in it.
Okay. So that's self-confidence. Yes, you're right. And then, do you like to talk about anything about self-motivation and self-esteem?
Self-motivation, I feel like you are motivated to do something on your own, which nobody else tells you to do, and you yourself is motivated and inspired to do something on your own without a word, without another person being without another person interfering in it.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, well, that's your way of saying it, isn't it? And how would you like to say, like, self-esteem? Would you like to talk about it, or like you wanted to just skip that? It's up to you.
Yes, I want to know it from you.
Okay, we'll talk about it, like, later on. Okay, thanks a lot for talking. Thanks a lot about it. And then,
okay.
yeah, and okay, fine. So we like, since there's, like, nobody wanted to speak about it, we'll just start about, like, what is self-confidence. You can read them, like, it says self-confidence is an attitude about yourself and abilities. So now, when we talk about, like, attitude and things like that, those kind of things, like, how do you feel, like, in Sri Lankan context, or like, we just always think about, when it comes to attitude, we say, come on, she has an attitude to something. So most of the people see attitude as a, like, bad word, isn't it? We don't see it as, like, as a good word. But then actually, the attitude is a very good word. We have lots of, like, good attitudes. So that's what the self-confidence, and then, like, skills, like, whatever that are our skill and abilities, like, we have an attitude about our skill and abilities. And then that means, like, you trust yourself, and then, like, you have a sense of control on yourself. So that's what the, like, kind of, like, self-control is kind of. So all of our life, we have a control on us. Like, we don't say like, I have a confidence, so I will do it. It's not a right thing, actually. Like when if you're a confident person, you will not say like, I have a confidence, so I will do whatever I want. I have a skill on these things, so I will do it whatever I wanted. So this is not like actual self-confidence. Self-confidence, actual self-confidence is we can sense ourselves, and then we can have a control on our life, how to do it, and we assess ourselves, even though we have a confidence on our skills and abilities. And then you say you know about your strength and weaknesses. So, well, you know about it, you don't need like somebody else come and say like you have this strength and these weaknesses. If you are a self-confidence person, you know that. And then what you know, and you always think about positive view on yourself. You have a positive view on yourself. And then again, you set realistic expectations, goals, and communicate with you assertively. And then handle criticism. So now every time when some people, most of us, we are very, very much reluctant to hear criticism about us. So which is right or not, we have to think how we handle criticism. So we do if it's me, kind of how I do is, I really expect people to criticize me. So I wanted very often people to criticize me, and I ask from them, have I done good? What have I done bad? How do you know about what have I done bad? So they will say on their view, it's okay. It might be you agree or not. It's not matters at all. It doesn't make anything different on your level of self-confidence. But the way you handle that criticism is the best way. You need to when somebody says you are not good. I mean, for example, if somebody come and tell me you're not right, you didn't treat me right in a right way, you're not a right you didn't identify my feelings. So it's okay, he said to me that kind of a words, and then I am I'm treated as I'm people treat me as qualified psychologist. So if come and tell me somebody said that, it's not the right thing for me, isn't it, for my profession? So I have to take it, okay, fine, it's not the right thing for me, but how am I going to handle this? How am I is that actually true, or is that how I am going to take it as is that going to spoil my self-confidence? All these questions you have to ask about it. And then you identify whether that person, if that person is saying true, then you have to work on it. How am I going to work on it? So this is why you analyze your weaknesses. I mean, sometimes you won't be able to identify when till other people says this is about till other people criticize you. So sometimes you really wanted to know about your criticisms, so then you can improve your self-confidence. Okay, so that's something we have to talk about very clearly, and you should be very, very much expecting from somebody to criticize you very often, and learn how to handle the criticism. Then when most of the time when our houses, we always hear criticism, isn't it? Like when you wanted to study, your parents says, no, you're not doing it properly, it's not enough. You have, even if you have hundreds of marks, even if they say not enough. There are parents that people look for more than 100% as well. So these are possibilities we face in our world. So how do we handle those things? So how do you handle those things is, it's just you find out whether that is true. How can I improve my criticism? How can I handle it And like without affecting my self-confidence, how am I going to handle it? These are things you have to remember. And then how does this confident person will be? Like, as I told you earlier, like, I gave you loads of examples when we were talking about self-confidence, that these people will believe themselves. And then even like, if when they like, believe themselves right, and even that like, when they have like things which are not unpopular also, they will think, yes, if I am right, if they are correct, and they have like, identify their strengths and weaknesses properly, and they wanted a positive like mood and everything, then they will like, go with a kind of like, right modes. And then they will be loving to take like their risks. So most of the time, self-confidence will be like happy to take risk. And then they admit their mistakes and learn from that. So again, as I told you earlier, like when they're like, somebody criticize you, or like, you identify this is my mistake. So you learn from that. You don't like just always like do mistake and go on your life. Like you, each time you do a mistake, you learn from that. That's what the self-confidence person do. And then they accept the compliments as well. So it's normal, like, we accept compliments, isn't it? But there are people that don't want to accept compliments. What they say is like, well, I'm shy to accept compliments. Well, I don't want to accept compliments. These are like, there are people as well. So if you are one of those person, you have to change yourself to like improve your self-confidence. And then there will be these kind of people will be very optimistic. So if you're like, very optimistic means, what is that optimistic means? Like you have access to goods and bad experiences. And you are like, very optimistic person to agree with good and bad experiences as well. So you train your like, when we talk about like, how do you say? When we talk about the way how our brain function, this work as like, how you how your brain accept the goods and bads, and like, work on a like, what you call kind of like, kind of on a right way, kind of like neutral way, I would say. The word is, yeah, neutral way. Your brain like work on like, even if you have a like bad thing happen experience, or a good thing, a good experience, you work on a neutral way. It's not that like, you put yourself in trouble, that kind of a thing. Okay, so yeah, I have explained that very well, I think. So we'll talk about the like, low self-confidence. So if you are on a low self-confidence, you will have a like, doubt about yourself, and be passive and submissive, and have difficult trusting others as well. And you will be not trusting yourself as well as not trusting other people if you're on a low self-confidence mode. And then, so that time, what you have to do, like you have to start thinking about it, and like, explain your brain, okay, I'm on this mode, I have to come out of that mode. So you have instances have been happening, isn't it, in your lifetime nowadays, like, when this is like, pandemic and lockdown time, you guys have lots of like, self-doubts. You have doubts about yourself, and you are quite like, very vulnerable for like, trust on other people and loads of things, where like, if you want to like, meet somebody, we have like really conscious about what we think and how we think about them, isn't it? So these are things we have to think about it and work on it. So, and then we are like, we will feel inferior and unloved, and then sensitive to criticism as well. And then feeling confidence about yourself might depend on the situation as well. So it depends on your situation also. Like, if you feel like, low self-confidence, that depends on your situation. Other thing is like, it's kind of like, high or low self-confidence. It's like, rarely related to your actual abilities, like based on like your like perceptions as well. Like how do you pursue like, things happening around you. Sometimes it depends on your experience or like, yeah, like, it depends on like several things. So you have to like, identify all those things and like, handle these issues. And then other thing we have to talk about is like low self-confidence might like based on your experience, as I earlier told you. So you might be like, growing up on a like, kind of like an unsupportive environment where your families or like, your friends, even in schools, like people might be like, not looking at you on a like, as a like strong person. And also like, you might be having a lot of criticism in like, in your environment, which will make you like, low in self-confidence as well. The other thing is kind of like, the friends and family, when you are like away from them or like separated from them, first time you will have low self-confidence. And then you like, if you started like, if you started to judge yourself like harshly, or like, like if you're like afraid of failures as well, that also like, have a like, make an impact on your self-confidence. So the next one, like, I think I have said like most of the things in this one. The next one is like, how do you improve your self-confidence? So when you wanted to improve your self-confidence, you have to recognize and emphasize your strength. And then like, rewards and praise, like, make yourself like, more self-confidence. And your efforts on like, progress on like rewards and praising will like, make it more onto self-confidence. That's what I wanted to say. So I don't know whether you understood like exactly what I wanted to say. So mainly what I wanted to say is like, you have to like look for rewards. Like every time when you do something, look for rewards and like, look for praises, which will improve your self-confidence. Sometimes you can do like that. Sometimes like in this culture, kind of like where I'm living, like people like even after doing a small things, they say, hooray, I have done that. Yeah. Kind of like they praise themselves. So these things you can do that. Like in our culture, like, our like, Asian culture, we were said like, come on, you shouldn't say that. Like, don't come on, like praise yourself. Don't do that. We used to say that, isn't it? In our like, households. So, but then again, yeah, like, overdoing is not very nice. It doesn't like look very nice, but you can like, do very often to yourself without like, showing that very much off to other people. You can do that to yourself, and you can like always like write a like, kind of a like, what is that, a poster kind of a thing on your like, entrance of your door, like, where you are studying or around where you are studying, saying, well done, well done, like you have done that. Like you can put your name and say, yes, if it's me, like for example, if it's me, like Zamrooth, well done, Zamrooth, you have done very good job in that. You can like, do that kind of a thing. It's just an example I used. Like you can put your names and do that at home. And then other thing is like, how do you kind of like, think about, you can think about like what you have done good in your lifetime. There are loads of things like we never think about like, what we have done in our lifetime. Even a small thing will make a difference in your life. So you can like, look into that, and like what you have achieved already, you can look into that. You can post that on your like, posters, on your like, on your like walls. And when you like, if you are nowadays, like you guys like uses computers and things like that. So when you open your computer, you can say, welcome, like, your name. And then you say, you have done all these things. And if like, I'm looking forward to like see you, like other things like what you have done. Things like that. If you started reading those words on your like, walls and screens, which will like encourage you to like, improve your like self confidence. This is one of the ways you could do. Like I do that very often. Like when I open my laptop, I used to have like, hello Zamrooth, and then like, just say like, kind of like if you guys are like, on the same religion or something like as me, like Islamic religion, I put like duas and things like that on my like, screen, and like read that first, and then say, these are things I have achieved, well done you, like things like that. And then on the walls, like, you can write and keep all those things. Those are nice things to do. And they're like, kind of loads of, how do you say, lots of nice things like paintings and things like that. You can do that, like, and post it on your room walls, which will be interesting to look at it. And then kind of like, other thing what you have to do is kind of like be kind to yourself. And like, when you have like, failures and everything, you don't say, I have like, all my life was failure. I have been like, facing this. It's not like that. Like no one else like having been facing, how do you say, failures whole their life. There will be something nice they have done, that even a small thing. Sometimes you can say, like, even if you wake up early morning and you wanted to do that and you have done that, which is a good thing, which is a nice thing, you have done that. That means like, that's like you have to like, step into your obstacles and say like, no, it's just like, I'm standing on my obstacles and I want to like, try it and come out of it. That kind of a thing. So the other one is like, you have to make your goals as like realistic and achievable. Like, don't expect perfections. No one is perfect in our life, and it's impossible to be perfect every time in our life and all the subjects. Sometimes like, now say like I am good in speaking and I'm not good in like, some other things. Maybe like, somebody will be like, saying, criticize me. You're not good in these things. Well, it's okay. Not being good in like some other things. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. So you can like, carry on those things like, as this is a like, sub part of your life, and concentrate on your like, good thing. And like, you can put effort to make like, the things which you are not good as good, but then it doesn't have to be perfectly the same way you're good and you're where you're good, isn't it? So that's one of the things you have to think about it. And the next one is like, what do you say? Slow down your emotions, like, like emotions when you are like in a situation where you cannot handle things. So you should slow down your emotions, and then you need to hold on, like kind of things like if you're in a failure, or like, you're facing like, you had an examination and you're sure like, you're going to fail on that examination, and then fine, okay, hold on it, wait for the results. And when the results comes, you're not happy about it, okay, fine, hold on it. It's not the end of your life, isn't it? You're going to achieve another day, like, in a different way. So it's not like, end of the life. Hold on it. Don't shout at other people. Don't pass your like, feelings to other people. sometimes like what we do is like when we are like, in a stage of failure, we just like, put the fault on other people as well. So which is not right. You have to like, understand people can do mistakes, and it's my mistake and I have to agree with that, and things like that. You have to do that. Sometimes we have to like, we have to like, we have to do that to like make ourselves happier. So this is just like, that's that happiness. What happens is it's like, very short-term happiness. When you do like something, do a mistake and then achieve something, that will make like, make yourself proud. Like, I did this very bad, and then I came out of that and like, rectify it. So which will make you very much proud. The mentally, like, your brain will always tell you, look, you did that like that, but now look at you, how you have done that. It will inform you always. It will inform you. You don't have to like, ask that your brain to inform you. It will automatically do that. So don't worry, like, when you have failures, just hold on your feelings and like, be calmer. And like maybe like what you do is on that day, go to bed. Don't like, think about anything. Just go to bed and sleep, very nice sleep. Have a like, peaceful sleep, and wake up in the morning, have a tea or like whatever your favorite stuff, do something favorite, and then sit down and think about what you have done bad to like, come to that situation. And then look at your strength and like, make a what do you call plan out of it and start working on it. Nothing else actually. So if you put your feelings out immediately, that means like, you don't know to handle your like, stuff exactly how you wanted to handle. And then that failure should not like affect your life. The failures are like, just a step for you to like look at how you wanted to look at. It reminds you, all the failures reminds you how the world is and how you have to look at the world and where you have failed to look at the world. So these are things you have to remember when you see the failures, and hold your like, just like, slow down your feelings and like, be intense to yourself. And the other one is don't have like, assumptions, like, assumptions, kind of like challenge your assumptions about yourself, people and situations. Sometimes we just say, this is why it has happened. This is why it has happened. All kind of things we have like, say, which is sometimes not true. It can be like, you need to analyze them. That's what I said, like, challenging your assumptions. And then like, some other things like doubt your doubts, kind of like when you have doubts, you have to doubt it. You have to say like, if you say like, I can't do that, you need to doubt about it. Why can't I do that? Why should I like, think like that, all kind of things. And then kind of like, kind of like recognize your like, past negative experiences, and kind of like, what do you say? And kind of don't like, think like past experiences will be like affect your like, future experiences. So future will be very much different. And then yeah, things like that. And then the other thing is express your feelings and beliefs and needs directly to the directly to the people, respective people, and respectfully say that. So now what happens is like, when we have like, experiences in our household, we just like are very scared to speak to my father, very scared to speak to my mother. Well, I don't want to say my feelings to my family members. My friends are most close people. I wanted to express that. It's whoever like, you wanted to speak to them, but speak to the people who is very close to your life and trustworthy. So then when you express all those information to them, that will not like affect your like self-confidence. That will make you stronger. And then learn to say like, no to reasonable requests. Kind of like if somebody somebody asks you which you can't do that, say no. Okay. So these kind of things, and have a hobby. Nowadays, like, people are very reluctant to have hobbies because they wanted to spend, they think like most of the people, when I speak to people, they says, a child is being a crafty is not a very good thing because like they cannot like, spend time on their studies. Like they can't like, put their time on studies. That's what they say. It's not actually right. You have to have your, what do you say? Your hobbies, own hobbies. If you be very creative and crafty, your brain is like, clear. Your brain is very clear and your brain wanted to work actively. So you really have to have a hobby, which is very good for you. And listen to empowering music. Again, music means like, when we talk about like music, like if you guys are like, from Islam, same religion as me, there's like, there are like, loads of words talk about like when you listen to music, you can forget easily. It can be true because what happens is like, brain like work as such. Brain usually like, love to like have like very melodious things and like kind of those kind of things. Like brain love to have that, love to listen to that and like calm down on that. All kind of things happens, and sometimes you can forget things as well. So you have to like, have a how do you say, balanced lifetime where you shouldn't be too much on those things. At the same time, you can like, calm down for sometimes when you wanted to calm down yourself, you can listen to this. And there are like Quran versions as well. You can listen all those things, like makes you empower yourself. So these are some of the like, musics I sometimes listen. Well, I don't know, people might say like, you shouldn't listen that, but I don't know. I like to listen all those things. If you kind of like to listen, you can like, experience it and see. I don't know, you can look at it and then make differences on somebody else's life, which will like, empower you and like increase your self-confidence. So what you do is like, contribute to society, look for volunteering works, and then like, help your like, neighbors, friends, elders, and everybody, and look for like, like helping for charities and donate things for them, kind of like, whatever it's like, just loading in our houses, you can donate them, can do all those things. So yeah, like next one is like self-motivation. What do you think about it? Like, do you guys have a dream for your life? Can somebody like, raise your hands and let me know like whether what is the dream of your life, or how do you want it to become? And then tell me like when you are like, small, what you wanted to become, and then like now what you wanted to become, and all kind of things. Would you like to speak, one or two people? Sahila? Hello? Yeah. Shimza. Yeah, Shimza wanted to speak. Can you unmute her, please? Hello? Hello? Hello, Shimza? No, no one is speaking. Can anybody hear me? Yeah, you can tell in messages as well, no problem. Yeah. Afreen raised her hand as well. Maybe I might look into the chat.
Hello, madam.
Hello, yeah. Assalamu alaikum.
Salam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Yeah, how are you?
I am fine, madam.
Okay, whom am I speaking to? Would you mind to say your name, please?
I am Muhammad Afrin from Kandy.
Okay, Afreen. Okay, Afreen. Okay. Can you tell me about your dream of your life?
Actually, madam, in a small time when I was studying in the school, I studied in Al Imran International. Then from grade 5, after scholarship, I came to Madina National College, Madawala.
Okay.
In that time, my dream and all my dreams in to play cricket, to be a cricketer.
Okay, that's interesting.
Then I joined in the school cricket team, and I played there.
Okay.
For 1-2 years. I played in the school team. After that, I went to a club in Colombo, and I played there also. Some of the former cricketers will come there and coach me. It's like Mahela Sangakara, like that.
Yeah.
After that, I went to play school cricket. Next, I went to Asian Cup cricketing in under 17, like that, in Bangladesh, England, like that.
Okay, well done, you.
In that time, after playing 2-3 matches there, I had injuries in the knee.
Okay.
Injuries in the knee, and I were brought to Sri Lanka. Medicine there, and after 1 month I go to Sri Lankan hospital. After that, I was very sad, and I can't do many exercises to play cricket, like that. Doctor told to me to rest like 6 months or 8 months, like that.
Okay.
After that, also my X-ray says not to work hard because my knee was very hardly affected.
So how do you now feel? Like, how old are you now?
I'm now 23.
23. So now what do you think? Like, for you, I mean, all those days you had like kind of a dream to become a cricketer, and then you had some kind of a failure, and then now what do you do?
After I am coming from there, I think 18-17 years, like that. My mother told, don't be worried, I'll do many medicines we do in home, and like that Ayurveda, like we did much.
Okay.
Finally my mother told, all will be hurry, you memorize the Holy Quran. It will be okay. And I went to Colombo part-time madrasa, and I memorized whole Quran. I'm a Hafil now.
MashaAllah. So at least something you have achieved, isn't it? Haven't you? What do you think about it? You have achieved something anyway in your life, isn't it?
Yeah, I've achieved.
Yeah, most of us, like, we were not able to achieve a lot of things like that. Like, yeah, but you have done that. Like, somehow somebody was there to push you up, and you have achieved something, right? And then you should self-motivate yourself to achieve different things as well. Now, you're not old enough. You are not just old enough to stop everything and I have to rest myself. It's not like that, isn't it?
Yes, surely I have a dream. I can achieve that. I'm trying for that 100%.
Inshallah, yeah. Okay, then. Nice to hear from you. And then can we listen to another person if they want it?
Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much for speaking to me.
Okay, thanks.
And you're welcome. And if there's somebody want to speak to me, or I can continue this. Yeah. So somebody wants to become an Islamic scholar and learning to tafsir, Quran, and teaching to others, and always wish. Yeah, that's a very nice thing to do. Yeah, you could do that. When you put effort and learn Islamic, you have to put effort to learn all those things, and then you can become one of those whatever you can, your dream. Anyway, so yeah, since there's nobody to talk at the moment, I will start saying what is self-motivation. So self-motivation is an ability to drive oneself to take initiative and action to pursue goals and complete tasks. So if you can motivate yourself towards your goals, like earlier the girl who spoke about it, it's a similar thing. So towards your goals, that's called self-motivation. And then it's kind of it's an inactive. It has to come from your heart. And it has to come from your heart, and it will push yourself to work towards your goals. And then it also if you want to achieve big goals, you should have a continuous motivation. You shouldn't stop actually. Sometimes you want small goals to be achieved. So what you could do is you can push yourself for that to achieve, and then you have to if stop. But for the lifetime goals, to become somebody, you have to try different things and be creative. You have to be identify all those as I told you, if you have a good self-confidence, you will start motivate yourself also. Very good. So, and you start believing on you, and then you get always inspired, stay inspired, and then keep always you will be staying away from if somebody puts you on low self-motivate and that condition, or somebody demotivate yourself, you will be always stay away from them, and that kind of a lifestyle, you will be like that. Anyway, why do you want self-motivation? Is it essential? Do you really have to motivate yourself? So you have to think about that, whether that is important for you or not. How do you achieve yourself? There are lots of people around us, teachers and our family members, parents, and everybody who is always motivate us. I mean, if they are not there, what are we going to do? So you should learn to motivate yourself. That's what makes your life easier and achievable. If you always depend on somebody else, it's very hard to manage your life. So that you have to do that. And then the other self is you have to identify your inner strengths, and kind of you have to work on your confidence level. Always have a higher deep confidence levels, and then all those things you have to work on that. And then why do you want self-motivation? Is the other thing is it's type of how you believe yourself. If you believe yourself, then you will be always self-motivated. So do you say there's a connection between self-confidence and self-motivation? And yeah, so usually what are things the goals motivate you is kind of intrinsic and extrinsic. Those are like that two type of like, things which motivate yourself. The first one is like, where it comes from your heart, like personal beliefs, you wanted to achieve that. This is your satisfaction. Because of that, you do that. The second one is external, which is like where you wanted to have like, have to have a like, social esteems, and then you have like, status, money values, all kind of things. Like, if you become like, imagine if I become a psychologist, I can earn a lot of money in Europe, not in Sri Lanka anyway, in Europe, okay? And then kind of like, if you wanted to become a psychologist, I have a self-respect. People will trust me. People will like, listen to me. All those things, these are things which you could like, think about it. All those things are like external ones, okay? For my satisfaction, I wanted to become a psychologist. So which is like, the earlier one, okay? That earlier one, okay, fine. Those are like things which we have to think about it. So tips to like, motivate yourself. The first one is take responsibility for your life. So most of the time, do we take responsibilities at home? Do we say like, I have to wake up early in the morning, not my mom come and wake me up. I have to pray. Does my mom come and do that, or like I do that? So, or like my father do that. Anyway, kind of like these kind of things. Like I decide like, what I wanted to become. So which anyway, like, we have a lot of conflicts between our family backgrounds. But however, like, you can explain to your parents saying like, this is what I wanted to become and why I wanted to become. So if you know why you wanted to become something, so you would be able to convince your parents as well. So this is one of the tips for like, motivate yourself. And the other thing is simplify to focus your energy. So simplify in the sense, nowadays, like we put hard work. If we do hard work only, we can like achieve something. So doing hard work, like you have to like, simplify it, slowly do it. It's not like put your like, hard time on you at a time. Slow down everything and slowly do that. So then you can focus on your energy. Don't take everything at a time. And then like break down your large goals on a small steps. What you do, that means, what is that? It's exactly what you do is like, if you wanted to become a psychologist, for example, okay? So it's like how I have to do it. So for the time I decided to become psychologist, I have my works, I have my other things. I have to break down everything. So this many years, I have to slow down everything. I have to like, plan things and do that. That's what it is. And then you should know your whys. What does that mean? Like if you wanted to do something, you need to know why do you wanted to do that, why it is important for yourself, and why your feelings are towards that, how your feelings affect on that, all those, that's one. So why it is important for the society as well. Those kind of things you should know about why. Okay, maybe for examples, you tell me like, if you wake up late today, so why do you wake up late today? Why it has happened? Why this has happened? Oh, that kind of like everything you should know about your whys. And then about very often you have to reevaluate your goals. Now, if you have a like, long time goals, you have to reevaluate your goals. If you reevaluate your goals, then you know like what is the weaknesses of your goals and what is the strength of your goals, and manage the expectations. If you like, if you have an expectation on something, so you might be like, sometimes you might be having a very high expectations and sometimes very low expectations. So you have to manage it. You have to manage it according to your situation. Sometimes you were having very big expectations, and then after having a pandemic time, you have to manage it again. You have to think about it, whether I would be able to do this one, or whether I would be able to like handle this one exactly how I wanted. So the other one is around that, like have people like, who doesn't like, demotivate yourself, always support yourself. People, you should have them around, and try like, always ask them help. So which is helpful for you. So if you don't, and also offer help to other people as well, which will make you satisfaction. And practice gratitude. Practice gratitude in a sense. Sometimes we forget to think about like we are like good, we are like, good in that, which like comes from this thing. So we agree with that. Like sometimes our parents would have helped us, somebody would have helped us. So we should be like thankful to all those things. Some of the we are gifted with like lots of skills, and like, lots of sometimes we have a nice family background. So we are gifted with all those things. So we have to be like, like thankful to all those things, and get enough rest. And then like, celebrate achievements. As I told you earlier, like, here people, even if you like, just achieve a small thing, they'll say, hooray, I have done that. So these things you have to like, do that. You have to like, celebrate your achievement. And also like, you should have a better time management. And then like, you have to learn time management strategies as well. And then visualize your self-motivation, kind of like, you have to dream it and look at like, kind of like, how do you say, kind of visualizing means like you have to see as like in a film or something. This is what's happening. I'm going to do this. I'm doing these things. And I'm like, making difference on people and all kind of things. You have to like, visualize it. See that like, from your like back of your mind, you have to do that. So it will fix on your brain. So you know that like this is what's happening to me, and this is how like, I'm going to do it. All kind of things you will be having it. And then we always like says like multitasking is a very good thing. But when it comes to like, some kind of a work, you have to like, stop that. So you have to like, if you have to achieve kind of like, if you have an exam or something, you have 2 or 3 assignments to finish and give them. So first do one assignment and finish that, and go to the other assignment and finish that, like that. If you start like multitasking at the time, your brain will like, have like, hard work. It has a hard time to like, handle things. So that's one of the things. So yeah, our next one is like, self-esteem. Our next topic is self-esteem. Would anybody like to talk about self-esteem? What do you think, like, what is your opinion about your, like, yourself and your abilities? Would you like to talk, anybody? Hello. Hello, can you be active, guys? Hello, can you be active, please? Where no one is talking. Can somebody raise your hands? Whether you like to talk about it or like even typing something?
Yes, someone has raised their hand. Fatima Shamina.
Yeah.
You may speak.
Well done, you, Shamina. Well done, you. Well, I have to hear your voice anyway. Hello? Hello?
Shamina, you can unmute yourself and speak.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How are you, Shamina?
Alhamdulillah, I'm fine.
Okay. So, would you like to
I
tell about something?
I think this self-esteem and self-confidence both interconnected.
Yes.
But we mustn't keep any doubt on ourselves. If
Yes.
before we are going to do anything, we have to always keep confidence on us first than others. Then if you try and do, then we can do it better than other things.
Yes. What do you think about self-esteem? Kind of like, do you think about like
It's an ability. It's also an ability about ourselves.
Yeah. What do you think about it? Like your opinion about your abilities? How do you think about it?
I think I have a higher self-esteem.
Okay.
If I want anything, first I go through it is bad or good first. If it is a good thing, then if it is suitable for my ability, then I'll try to do it.
Okay, that's better. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, it's very nice to speak to you, and like I really I really appreciate your words. It's really lovely. Yeah, is anybody else want to talk about self-esteem? Hello. This group is very quiet, isn't it? Like there's somebody else.
Yes, we have Bint Imtiaz. Yes.
Yeah.
You may unmute yourself and speak, my dear. Yes. Go ahead.
Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. What's your name, ma?
I'm Salma Imtiaz.
Salma Imtiaz, okay.
Yeah, from Canada.
Okay. How do you feel about self-esteem, Salma?
Self-esteem is about our skills and talents. Believing in ourselves.
It's your opinion about yourself. Like, what do you think? Like, do you think what's your opinion about yourself? How do you see yourself?
I do have a high level in self-esteem. I have many talents. I have recognized it.
Okay.
I can draw, drawing, painting.
MashaAllah.
My special talents.
Okay, MashaAllah.
I can sing well.
Okay, I cannot hear you very well. I think there's issues in our line, I think. Anyway, it's a pleasure to speak to you, Salma.
Okay, thank you. My pleasure too.
Yeah, Jazakallah khair for that. It's the self-confidence, how you speak about yourself out, isn't it? It's the way you speak, and then it's again about your how your self-confidence levels are with you. So kind of as I told you, self-confidence means it's an opinion about yourself. And then the other one is if you have a higher or lower self-confidence, it shouldn't be like too high and too low. It has to be on the middle. So that will make very productive in your lifetime. When you have very high self-confidence, it's very hard to handle things. You will self-esteem. It's very hard to handle because what you think is I can do that, I can do this thing, I can do that, and you will overestimate yourself. So even when you have a lower self-esteem, that will again, like, push yourself down. So kind of like it has to be on the middle, kind of. That will, like, make yourself, like, feel good, and then, like, achieve your, like, goals. It will help you to achieve your goals. So as we spoke about earlier, what is confidence, self-motivation, and then self-esteem. These three are interconnected to each other, right? So you have to, like, if you wanted to handle your, like, your life in a, like, smooth way, you should have all these things on a moderate way. You shouldn't have overconfidence or over motivated yourself. You should have everything on a balanced way. So that's why we says, like, we should have, like, optimistic lifestyle. So where you can take good and bad things as a similar way. So that's one thing. So how to improve your self-esteem? Be nice to yourself. So you need to be nice to yourself. You need to be kind to yourself. You should be, don't give yourself hard works. Be sometimes nice to yourself. I need some rest. Yes, you need some rest. There are days, like in a days, like you need some rest. Go and rest. So it doesn't mean, like, because you have work and you have, like, loads of things to achieve, loads of dreams there, so I shouldn't take a rest. It's not like that. You should need a rest. And then, like, you have to, like, challenge your negative thoughts. So all those things you have to. So that's you be nice to yourself. When you have a negative thoughts, you have to challenge it. And then the next one is, what is that? You should think I am the one piece in the world. So that's a very good thing to think about yourself. You should say, like, I watched a movie, like Asian or South Asian movie. There was a lady called like, it was a Hindi movie, I guess, long time ago. I don't know, some kind of things I watched. And this like girl says, this boy had been, like, coming from abroad or something. And then this boy was, like, trying to say, this girl, you are like a lady from a village, you can't do things and like that. And this girl was saying, come on, I'm just a one piece in the world. Look at me. You cannot, like, play with me. This boy, like, she was challenging herself. I was really attracted on that time, like, when I'm looking at that thing. So it's just like, my just feeling about something I just wanted to share with you all. So things like that, kind of like, when you do something nice, you admire yourself and say, I'm just one piece, like nobody like you. It's just you, isn't it? And there, like, there are times, like, you are compared with other things, and you will be comparing yourself with other things. So don't do that. You're just one piece. This is what you can do, and you will do it. And put your, like, things, like, define yourself, and, like, define, like, tell other people, this is how I am. I'm not, like, similar to you. That kind of an attitude you should have to, like, have a, like, improve your self-confidence. Kind of like sometimes people says, come on, like, you guys, like, psychologists, just talk to people. Nothing, you don't have anything else. People used to say these kind of things sometimes ago. Even nowadays people say all those things. Well, yeah, like, we talk to people, but we make difference on people, isn't it? We do things different on them. And sometimes people say, like, you have done very, very much, like, you have inspired me. Things like that they used to say. So identify, similar to things like that, you identify yourself, like, what is good about you? Who are you? And how you are, like, one piece in the world. You are how best you are. Those kind of things you have to, like, speak to yourself. You don't have to go and boast about yourself to other people, right? All what you have to do is speak to yourself. say, this is what me, come on, look at me. And sometimes people says like, as when you become a mother, like you have to face quite a lot of things. I'm a like, what is that, like mother for 3 children. And then like, says, come on, I have 5 children and I'm doing best. What you are doing, come on. It's not a like, saying what you are doing. No, it's different. My children are very much different from your children, and I have brought up my children in a different way. So you should be able to like, identify how good you are. Those things like, each mother is not the same as like, everybody. No comparisons. No mom is like similar or same. Each mother is different. And your mom is different from your friend's mom. So you have to see her as like, one piece in the world. And everybody is one piece in the world, and you're one piece in the world. So look at yourself. Come on, look at me. How I'm good. Look, I'm pretty. I am like, I can work on myself. I'm handsome boy. I'm like, pretty girl. And then I can work on it. I'm clever. I am like, stronger person. I can handle all the like, problems in my world. No one like helped me. Be proud about yourself. And things like that. So these are some of the inspiring things you have to like look at it when it comes to self-esteem. And then kind of like, do a lot of exercises. I always tell you like, have a healthy food, do lots of exercises. That will like, increase your motivation. And also like, think about how to achieve your, like build your self-confidence and how to achieve your goals. All those things like, your brain start to work when you do exercise. So all the like, when you do exercise, don't like think, come on, why brain is somewhere and my body is here. Why do I have to move? No, you have to move to like, give blood circulation to your brain. So that's when like, you are motivated better. And then don't think like when you have like, problems come around as this, like, the person who spoke about me, like this, he said like he had a hard time and he wanted to become a, what is that? We wanted to become a like cricketer, but he couldn't achieve it because of something has happened in his life. So yeah, things happens. Everybody faces problem. No one is free of problem. Okay, everybody. Even I faces problem. You faces problem. Yes, maybe you may say, "Come on, you're a psychology. You've been like giving lots of support to other people and looking after everything." But you know better, like, how to face the problem. Of course, I know better to face the problem, but I do face the problem. I do have a heart. I do have feelings. I do have everything. But then I have to face the problem, and my problems are always big for me. It's not very small thing for me. So you have to learn to like, face the problem. And of course, like as that boy said, like he had somebody to motivate. His mother was motivating him and made him to like achieve something different. Okay, fine. You can't do this. Fine, that's okay. You do that something different, which satisfying you. Like find things like which satisfying you. Make yourself like happier, like, look things in a happy mood. This is what I wanted. Decide what you wanted and like, look for your goals. And remember, nobody is perfect. As I told you earlier, like we all have problems. All of us have problems. We do have like, issues, which is like very close to our heart. So nobody is perfect and you cannot like, do things perfectly as well. So accept it. This is the reality, isn't it? Accept it and make your like goals like, realistic and try to like achieve it. So that's the like, smart people do. Like that's how smart people do. So try and do it. Yeah, I'm sure like all of us are smart people. We are not like, kind of like, we don't want to like, even though like, we say ourselves, I'm not smart enough. we all are smart people, and we actually don't know how to handle things. That's what the issues we have. Other than that, we are smart enough to handle things. So the next one is like, everyone makes mistake. Remember that I told you all, even at the beginning, I spoke about it. And then focus on what you can change. Like, this is what, nothing is permanent in your life. Everything is moving on. Like, you have to change yourself, and other people will be changing themselves. So you focus on what you have to change. Write down all of them, and then write down some, the things which you are not happy with. And then you wanted to change. Maybe you can write down 3 things, and think about it. It's kind of like, I've written on these slides, there are things like, write down all those things, what is best about yourself, and write down all those things, and write the mistakes, and when do you do mistakes, and how can I grow on those, with that mistakes, all those things, write down. And then look at it every time, look at it, and paste it all over in your walls, and look at it, and look at it, and try and kind of talk through about it, or think about it, how you can handle things. And the last one is write down what makes you happy. Things like spend times with enjoying things, and enjoying people, and positive part of your life. Do that, things like that. The other one is celebrate small stuff. As I told you, all your self-confidence, your self-motivation, even your self-esteem, all. If you want to improve all of them, celebrate small stuff. Don't just say, come on, this is very small thing. I have achieved better than this. What is this? Don't say all those things. This is a small thing I have achieved, and hundreds of small things are big things, actually. It becomes big. So achieve it. All your achievements, enjoy it and celebrate it. And then be a pal. Be a pal in the sense kind of be nice to other people. Be a pal to other people. And that will boost your mood, actually. When you have angry face and always show all the bad feelings to other people will not be close to you. So be a pal to other people. That will encourage you. And then find people who are good with yourself. Always always find your people good yourself, and always find them to motivated, and you will be motivated as well. When you are having sad people around you, you will be always sad as well. So that's all for the day, and it's question times. I guess at least you guys will be open your mouths now, since it was first time I'm doing with English audience. Kind of you have to tell me also how I went good and bad as well, to motivate myself as well. Okay, so before the questions, would Fahila like to speak about things around? Sister Fahila?
Yes, Sister Jazakallah khairan. I think it's a simple question, so I'll read out that, and then we can give the chance to Ayyash, who has raised his hand. So,
okay.
Assalamu alaikum, sister. Why is it so hard for me to achieve a simple goal itself?
Simple what?
Simple goal.
Oh, simple goal. Okay. Okay. So is that maybe
yes,
you would have not identified your strength and weaknesses. You would have not put enough effort on that. Maybe if the goal, even though sometimes we think there are things are simple in our life, but it could be you have to put a lot of effort. So you need to analyze them, write about it, analyze it, and then put like enough solutions, like identify lots of solutions for that, and like evaluate those solutions and things like that. Maybe if you work on that kind of like, way, you would be able to achieve things. And motivate yourself. Motivate every time, like, I have given lots of things, list of things, like, you can like, put yourself and think about self, and you find like, what is like, stopping you to achieve that goals. Look for that, write about it, and put that on your wall next to you, and look at it like, these are things like, stopping me to do that. So how can I come out of it? Those things, think about that. So you would be able to like, achieve that. Good luck with that. I would like to hear from you. Like, you can send me messages on this number. And yeah, how did you achieve your goals? Right? Good luck with that. And then the other one?
Yes, Zamrooth sister, we have Mr. Rizwan with us.
Okay.
Sir?
Yeah. Hello. Can I
Yes,
speak
sir.
for a second? Can I say something?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah.
we welcome
Assalamu
you.
alaikum, Zamrooth and your team. First of
Walaikum
all, from World Forum for Sri Lankan Muslim, I am honored and privileged to be part of your program. I've listened to a couple of your previous program in Tamil, even
Yes.
though I may not have understood a lot because of my lack of not familiarizing myself for the last 50 years. But still, I understood quite a lot of your last few programs, and I'm thankful to Brother Altaf. Now, some of your programs, we are partnering with Tasbih Media, and your program is practically sent to all our members worldwide. Now, we have a professional intellectual in our membership in the World Forum worldwide. Now, I can see there are 2 or 3 of our members are already joined in your program today. So they come from Australia and Zambia. I can see one participant from Zambia, and one participant from Australia is a leading person in Australian university. I think I saw his name. So you can see we are gradually getting people into your program because your programs are attractive, practical, and realistic for the people to understand. So I'm sure even with professional intellectual worldwide, we can get them to come to your program. And we also, as a World Forum for Sri Lankan Muslim worldwide, right? Even our chairman is in Canada. Sometimes we do have issues of motivation, right? We have lots of program in our forum. Presently, we are working on education program in Sri Lanka, and also we are working on a concept paper on environmental sustainability. We are trying to assist Sri Lanka on the coastal disaster they had recently. Things like that are done by World Forum, but there is a but. Always we find it, sometime, not always, we find our professional intellectual to input, apart from the people who are involved in all our program. Individually, we also find it difficult for them to respond. That's the word I should use. You see, it's a large number of people in membership. The response is sometimes is becoming a, there is a Tamil saying, if I can remember, something like that,
Okay.
They say, if I remember that
Yeah.
phrase, something
Yes.
of that sort, we find it sometime with all the excellent people. Anyway, I would like to invite you with Altaf's assistance sometime to one of our meetings, so you can come and give us an idea and your talk on with your psychological experience. You may be able to motivate a bit to our big guys, to call it.
Okay.
Anyway, thank you. Thank you.
you.
I enjoyed your program today.
Yeah, thank you very much for your lovely words. Actually, I don't know, I am qualified that much to push your big guys as such. Well, I'll try my level best.
Yeah. There may be scientists, or there may be big professors or chancellors of universities.
Yes,
but then, young people can still make a change. Young people can bring in more ideas and thinking to, sometimes people with, high qualification and professionalism and, doctorate and all that, they also need some kind of a motivation and some kind of assistance as well You see,
Yes.
so people like you can bring that change.
Yes, it is. Thank you very much for your words. Actually, I would love to join you all. We will speak about that in future, inshallah. And yeah, it's pleasure to listen to you actually. And thanks for everybody who was supporting, especially Tasbih Media. We should always talk about Tasbih Media as well, because they were connecting each other, isn't it?
Yeah,
So,
definitely. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome, brother. And would anybody like to speak about it? And
hello, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Whom am I speaking to, sister?
Sister, it's my name, Mariam. I'm from Kandy.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum, Mariam.
This is my first time to listen to your class.
Okay.
And my husband has motivated me to, to go through this Zoom.
Okay.
And this section was when I heard about your, the way you explain about the self-esteem and the self-respect, self-ability about the women's. I really motivated and really appreciated to you. It was really nice lecture. Hope, inshallah, the further I would join. Okay.
Oh, that's very kind of you to say that. Thank you very much.
I'm from India, sister. And then it's really good for me to listen the class in English, right? So it's very comfortable for me to understand.
Okay.
So I really appreciate for that.
Yeah. So Jazakallah khair, speaking to you. It was surprising me, lots of people can't speak. I mean, I know they can not speak Tamil very well, but they were very much familiar with English. I mean, world language. It was surprising me. And then, thank you very much for all your support.
Thank you, sister. Thank you, sister. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Okay. You're welcome, sister. Yeah. Is anyone would like to share some words and want to ask any questions? This is time for you all to ask questions as well. And yes, I really love to hear some criticism as well. Not always sometimes criticism makes you to do better in your life. So I would like to, I am very much open for that as well. You can say things which I'm not good as well. I would think about whether I could improve myself as well as you can ask your questions if there's anything. There's some personal questions as well.
Zamrooth sister, I think some of them would like to join for the program. So I'll share the flyer on my screen so that they can get the details.
Yeah. Would you like me to talk about this program a bit? So they might they might get some kind of an idea, what am I going to do in this program?
Yes.
So this specific program, the introduction program, this will be in Tamil actually. If you all want this to be done in English, you can request, my WhatsApp page, which is Mindlizam. So you can, I will keep if you can send me a message to admin area, or if you request me to open the page, I can leave the page open for a day, which is, if that is helpful for you all. And so you can request if you want that to be held in English as well. This specific program, what I will do is I will talk at each gender. That means men and women, both men and women, how to handle your problems. Sometimes you might develop personality differences because of your past experiences, and then you all might be low in your self-esteem. You all will be had issues in your puberty and then adolescence, and then also kind of love and breakdowns, all those kind of things. So you all those issues, like when we speak to different people in our in my, like, what you say, my from my, like, service users, we see lots of like, these like early stages, there are like lots of issues that it has affected their mind that have been, like, carry on like long time. So these kind of things, how to overcome all those things, how to stabilize yourself and affirm yourself, these kind of things I'll be talking in this specific program. So when I speak to men, I will speak differently, even though the same topic, I will speak differently, how it suits to men, how a man, like, happily handle their life, happily manage their, like, what healthy lifestyle, how they can do it, how they can prepare for their marriage, how they can, like, solve their problems, gender responsibilities, and also, like, we will talk about, like, how to become a, like, become a father to a child, and how important a parenting for a child, and how parenting issues would have made effect in your life, and how to come out of it. All those things I'll be speaking, and, like, I'll be practically be with you. You can be open to me, and I can give you, like, enough support in this specific classes. That's how it works. And again, the similar thing to the women. I've just, like, took men as an example and said all those things. I'll say the similar thing to the women as well. And women, we have, like, women coming similar lessons with us, like, in early stages. There were workshops I have handled. But for men, I haven't done that much. So I'll be expecting a lot of men to come, and, like, because in a society, men and women, like, go together. You all make difference in the world. And if you go like a similar way, similar stage, like equally work on, only you can bring a, like, healthy society. So we have to change both of them. It's men changing and women are not changing will not make any difference in the world. It as well as other way around as well, like, women changing and men are not changing, that will not make any difference in the world as well. So that's what we have to do. So yeah, keep in touch with y'all. And then if you guys want anything, you can send me messages, where I am and what is my number. Definitely I will come back to you soon as possible. Well, yeah, and this introduction program will be like, we will be introducing you, how am I going to do, and what are the areas I will be doing in Tamil. So you can request if you want in English as well, and send me topics like you wanted to do in English, because this is, first time I'm, like, facing my English audience. So lovely to meet you all. So yeah, tell me more what you wanted to say. Are we fine with the time, sister? Yeah.
Yes, sister, we have a few minutes left. There was some questions in the chat box. Will that be okay if I read them out to you?
Yes, please. We should, like, do that actually.
So one of the sisters asks, when we set life goals and try to achieve it, sometimes we are more energetic and sometimes less energetic. How should we improve that? I think she's referring to the less energetic time, like how to improve that particular phase when we are facing this issue.
Yeah, as I told you, like, when you are less motivated to something, there is a reason for you to become less motivated. So why you identify why you are not motivated, why you don't have confidence, find out all those informations and, like, express it. You need to express it to yourself. You have to write it to yourself and look at it every time. Why am I not doing it? So how am I going to change it? How it will help me to change it? I said, like, look at your, like, visualize your, like, things, goals, look at it. When, for example, if I want, I would say, when I wanted to become at the beginning, as I told you, like, if I think about it, like, why I became a psychologist, I never know I wanted to become a psychologist. Okay. I was like, when I was just wanted to do something when my children started to school, when I wanted to stay at home. I don't want to just stay at home without any, self-satisfaction. So I wanted to satisfy myself somehow. So I was thinking about how I could satisfy myself. I'm not thinking about satisfying others, kind of. So it has to suit to my, like, lifestyle, my family, and, like, my finance, everything. It has to suit. It's not like, we just, like, that, because now I see lots of people, like, if when they wanted to study or something, they just spend hundreds and thousands of pounds at a time. And then, okay, fine, I did that and I studied that. At the end, they don't know what they have done even. So it's not the right way of, like, achieving something. If you wanted to, like, achieve something, and if you're not motivated something, you need to find out all those things, and then you need to look for it. So first time, like, when I wanted to become a psychologist, there was quite a lot I have to study. I have to do my, what is that? I have to do my BSc, master's, and then even you have to become a PhD to become a fully qualified psychologist. So now, do you have to work a lot in UK? If you want to become a psychologist, you have to work on lot of work on, like, different people. And even if you wanted to go for a supervision, you have to pay for that. Are you qualified to do that? Or, like, do you have enough money to do that? And you have, like, all those things, you have all those, what you call, like, beliefs and ethics and all kind of things, which is there for you. And I'm just, like, a young girl who wanted to become a psychologist, and there's nothing in my hand. There's empty. So you should find, like, your weaknesses, and then weaknesses and strengths, where you're going to, like, achieve it, when you're going to achieve it, all kind of things. You have to analyze it and start doing it. So this was my experience I'm sharing with you. It was when I think about my, like, my profession, I never had anything on my hand. I just have to work on it, like, find out all the things around my world, where I could do that, how I could do that, how it will affect my family, how it affect my family life, all kind of things. I have to look into that and then work on it. I'm working on it, like, on a very small basis. Don't, like, say, like, if you wanted to achieve something, today I have decided, then tomorrow I have to become that specific thing. You guys, lots of people we have, like, that kind of an attitude. So we have to change our attitude towards it. We have to do it on a small basis. You shouldn't strain yourself, just that. You should put effort, but then it should be a happy effort. Every single thing you do it, you need to be happy. So make yourself happy by doing it. If you're not happy, find out the reason why you're not happy. Why you're not happy? This is why I'm not happy. So how am I going to make it happy? Look into that. So that's one of the way I have. This is how I found, like, my dream come true. Maybe it's your way. You look at the way you are, because I'm different from your difference. You are, like, one piece in the world. Remember that you're one piece in the world, sir. You have to work on your way, not my way. So look into that. So maybe you will be able to achieve your goals and, like, motivate yourself when you're low. Am I answered your question? Or, like, overdone that? You should say that. Have I answered your question or not? Hello? Is there any other thing? Yes, sister.
Yes. Yes, Jazakallah khairan for the answer, sister. Yes, there is one sister who would like to ask and communicate with you personally. So, sister, the number is given, Zamrooth sister's number. So, you can contact her through this number. And since it's something personal, so you can talk to her personally through this number 044 7438 416680. Yes, I think that's it. And we have one last person raise their hand. Yes, you may unmute yourself. Or was it by mistake?
Okay. Right.
Right. So I think we have come to an end of today's session if there's no more questions. So Jazakallah khairan, Zamrooth sister, for your precious time, for allocating your time to spend and shed some light to us, like to our knowledge, and increase us in self-motivation and self-confidence. I think in a pandemic situation like this, it's very important for us to clear our minds by joining such programs. So Jazakallah khairan, and I would like to thank the organizing team, which includes Kaspi Media and Mindlizam and Muslim Forum, World Forum. And yes, I think we have come to an end of the program today. And of course, if you have any feedbacks of today's program, you can a message to my 717-0941. I have put it in the chat box, and so that we can improve ourselves, inshallah. So yes, we end the session for the day. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, and have a nice day.